Hello guys, welcome to Dan's IT Network. On my previous video, we're able to create a VTP server mode on this switch, okay, and also a VTP client mode on this switch, okay, and this client was able to copy the configuration, I mean VLAN configuration from the VTP server, all right. And for today's video, we'll make this switch as a VTP mode transparent. Okay, let's say we don't want this switch to copy the VLAN configuration from this server automatically. Okay, we want to configure this a switch like it has a different setup. All right, and let's do that. I'll open up this switch, okay, and I'll go to the command line interface. I'll hit enter to get started, type enable to go to the privilege mode, then comp T to go to the global config mode, and then I'll type here VTP, okay, then let's type question mark for you to see, right, and let me spread this. All right, so it needs to have the same domain, all right, so domain, it should be the same one, which is dan1, all right. Hit enter, and then the mode, VTP space mode, we want this to be the transparent. Okay, I'll hit tab and I'll hit enter. Okay, and let me save the configuration. All right, and control C on the keyboard, and then show VTP status. Okay, all right, so as you seen here, that's the VTP domain on this switch was set into a dan1. All right, and then uh, it's on the transparent mode. Okay, and number of existing VLANs is we haven't created any VLANs yet. All right, because you know what, we, let's say we want to set up a let's say different VLAN on this one. That is why we don't want this switch to be linked on this server, right? Because we don't want to copy the VLAN configuration automatically from the server. All right, that is why we set it as a transparent. Okay, and I'll close this. Let's connect this switch to this transparent using straight through cable. Let's just use the second port. Okay, and second one here, and well, we need to convert this into a trunk port, all right? Because by default, this is on the access port. So, in order for this port to, carry a VLAN traffic, all right, we need to make this as a trunk port, all right? So let's go first on this switch, and I'll hit enter to get started, space, and then comp T, and then I'll go to the interface F0/2 and make this switch port mode trunk. Okay, enter, and then I'll put one more command, switch port trunk. Okay, and then allowed 1 to 100. Okay, all right, let me put the VLAN first, right? VLAN, say I will allow a VLAN from 1 to 100. Okay, and let me save the configuration. All right, and I'll close this. Let's go to the switch. All right, and I'll hit enter to get started, comp T to go to the global config mode, interface F0/2, and then I'll make this as a trunk, so switch port mode trunk. All right, and then switch port trunk allowed, right, and then VLAN 1 to 100. Okay, and let me save the configuration, and I'll close this. All right, all right, and let's fast forward the time, okay, so that this will turn green. All right, okay, there you go. And then now let's see though if this switch automatically copy the VLAN configuration from the VTP server. Let's see. Okay, and Control C on the keyboard, and then I'll type here show space VLAN. All right, and I'll spread this. Okay, so as you see is it did not copy the VLAN configuration. It just ignored it. All right, we don't have a VLAN, the 10, 20, 30, 40, and 15 here. Okay, well, it is because we set this as the VTP transparent mode. All right, okay, and let's do one more experiment. Okay, let's put another switch. Okay, let's say I'll put it here, and I want this to be as well VTP. Let's say this is the client 2. Okay, all right, and let's use the straight through cable. Let's connect from this. Let's use the number 3, okay, 0/3, and then 0/3, okay, and then we'll make this as a client. All right, let's see if the VLAN traffic, all right, will go to this client, and then we'll go to this transparent. So this switch though will ignore the traffic. Let's see if it will pass through in here. Okay, but definitely we need to convert this into a trunk, of course. All right, and let's do that. I'll go to this switch. All right, command line interface, and then hit enter, and then I'll type here enable. Okay, so this by default this is on the VTP server mode. All right, so I'll go to the CompT to go to the global config mode, and the VTP I'll set first the domain should be dan1. All right, and then VTP mode I'll make this as client. Okay, and now it's on the client. Let me save the configuration, and then let's make this as a trunk. All right, the f0/3. So interface f0/3, and then a switch port mode trunk. Okay, there you go. And then one more command, switch port trunk allowed. Okay, let me spread this. Allowed from VLAN 1 to 100. Okay, let me save the configuration, and I'll close this. And we need also to make this as a trunk port as well. Okay, this a 0/3 on this switch. I'll click this switch, and I'll hit enter to get started. Space. I'll type here. I'm sorry. All right. Well, it has a message. No, let's just hit enter on this one. All right, so that we can input command. All right, and let me type here CompT. Okay, and then go to the interface f0/3. All right, and then let me make this as a trunk, switch port mode trunk, and then one more command, switch port trunk allowed VLAN from 1 to 100. Okay, and there you go. And let me save the configuration. All right, and let me close this now. All right, and let's wait for it to connect. All right, so since it's not yet connected, let's try to show the VLAN. Okay, control C, and then show VLAN. All right, so it's not yet there. Okay, because it's still orange. All right, it's not connected. All right, so the VLAN is not yet copied, okay, from the server because it's not yet connected. All right, and let's wait for it. All right, let's wait for it. Let me minimize this, and let me try to fast forward. Okay, and let me open up again the command line interface. All right, and now I'll type again the show VLAN. Okay, all right, still not yet. Okay, all right, let's wait for it, and let me go to this line. Okay, let me fast forward. Okay, and then now go to this. Let's try again. There you go. Okay, so you notice that it has now the VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. All right, and it's good. All right, so the VTP server is working, a client, transparent, and another client in here. So let's say though, if you have like a um, additional switch that you need to configure, then if you have a server, it will make your life easier though, okay, using a VTP. And it's good.